Yo, what's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? We here, we back. We back for another episode of Think Pieces and Conversations. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the channel to support the algorithm of the channel. If you support, if you enjoy the content, if you enjoy the content overall on the channel, if you enjoy the stories, the shorts, everything that's involved with the channel, the gaming, you hit the like button, you subscribe to the channel, and you you know support the movement. There's a lot of things that's happening right now in music culture, in politics, in uh well, how should I say, internet gossiper culture, internet journalist culture. I don't want to downgrade it because I guess you could put me in part of that category, in that pool, in that bucket, in that barrel. But we got two prominent figures that's on YouTube right now. Two people that when certain things happen, it's gonna go viral. So both these figures went together. Corey Holcomb and Anton Daniels. Corey Holcomb is the 5150 show. I used to watch the show a long time ago. I was in a different frequency back then, and then after a while, I kind of just stopped watching it. It hit a ceiling for me mentally, and it's just a show I never went back to. And currently, right now, I do check out Anton Daniels' show. I do check out his Room 9. I do check out a lot of things, a lot of his content. He puts out content every day. You can't miss his content on the net. You're gonna see it. You're gonna see it on your algorithm. He talks about everything on the news, politics, whatever. But these two people, Corey Holcomb and Anton Daniels, they have combined forces. Right? They combined forces and went on each other's show, or Anton went on Corey's show, the 5150 show. So there was an altercation that is still viral to this day. People are still talking about who did what, who did who. Let's talk about what happened. First, I'm gonna play the video, and there will be a lot of profane language, I think, that's happening in the video, but I'm going to analyze it. I'm going to discuss it. I'm going to give you my thoughts. Who was right? Who was wrong? Who was this? Who was that? Let's go.
It's the reason you go after black males or black people quicker than you will go after white males. What are white males responsible for in this country as the downfall
I'm
of
an equal
it?
accountability smoke giver. I talk about everybody.
Here's the fact. Have you seen something about Caucasian males and how they
Absolutely.
destroy this nation? Well, what did I miss?
Okay, first of all, when it comes to arguing with people that have just these few talking points about what is going on in politics, what's going on in the government, what's going on in society, and they have the victim mindset already. It's already the white man did this, Big Daddy white man did this to me, Big Daddy white man did that to me. It's 2026, but people still cling on to this talking point, this redundant talking point that if you are an intellectual, there has to be a way to advance the conversation past this. I've never saw Corey Holcomb as an intellectual. Corey Holcomb is funny. We watch his show to laugh. We watch his show for the jokes. We watch his show to talk about when he's talking about the industry, what happened in the industry, what type of doors he did or did not walk through, and why he became successful in different ways that he became successful. So, Corey Holcomb, we watch his show to laugh, to joke, to this, to that. And then recently, since Trump became in office, he started talking politics. A lot of the things he was talking about when I did not agree with, but he has his limited perspective, limited point of view. Anton was supposed to come into the show and hopefully expand Corey's perspective on what's actually happening, what's going on, the history. But this conversation, from what I'm seeing right now, has already went low vibrational already. Nobody's trying to understand, all us. Corey is not trying to understand where he's coming from. He's going to, you love the white man. Why you don't talk about the white man? Why you don't hold the white man accountable? It's classic talking points of liberals, Democrats, black people that's still over there in that plantation. They still talk like that. They still do that. So let's keep it going.
Let's slow down, because you talking loud, but you're not saying a lot.
No, you talking
No,
loud,
you talking loud,
and you still talking around. What did the Caucasian male do to America to bring it down?
I'm not getting into that.
You dancing around it, and that's why I lose respect for you when you start dancing and kissing Caucasian males' ass.
But I don't.
Don't do that in front of me, because I'm not an ass kisser of nobody.
He's getting mad. He's getting flustered. And the debate and the conversation, which a lot of people, especially of our complexion and skin color, we lose a lot of debates and we lose a lot of arguments because we're the first ones to get angry. We're the first ones to get upset. When I see people get upset during the conversation, already the logic has already left the room. Once you start getting emotional, it's the emotion is in that driver's seat. The emotion is in the driver's seat now. Logic has taken the passenger, the back seat, the trunk. Once emotion get in, especially for a lot of people that can't, they just stay on one point. And that's why you can't really debate with people like this, because they're uneducated. They already have a limited perspective. They have few talking points that they've heard from news anchors from the left, another black celebrity, another sellout that sells all his people to go liberal. Just sellouts. So from how I'm speaking about this particular conversation, you kind of know where I'm going to direct this. You might call it bias, you might call it whatever. I'm just calling it how I see it, because I deal with these type of people every day when I'm having discussions. Every day I'm dealing with that type of liberal that's usually black when we talk about politics. And it's not different for skin color, because the white person, the Hispanic person, all liberals speak like this, especially when they're discussing black people. It's always discussed, black people is always discussed as a lesser than community, a lesser than a victimized community. Nobody's willing to embrace kingship. Nobody's willing to embrace leadership. Nobody's willing to embrace, yo, this thing has happened. Cool. What are we going to do about it now? The conversation always goes back to the past. The fact of the matter is, in today's age, I'm going to kick something real to you, whether you see it objectively or not. In today's age, you have all the power to win. If you live in America, if you got a job, your feet, your hands work, legs work, brain work, eye work, you got a job, you breathing, you're healthy, you can make that money. You can make that opportunity. You got a brain, you got books to read. There is thousands upon thousands of selections of books that you can get into, speak on history, speak on politics, speak on. Everybody just loves the toxic culture though, the hip hop culture, the rap culture. Everybody just loves that culture. Nobody's willing to evolve. Nobody's willing to really get to the, yo, why do we think this way? Why have we thought this way for so long? And you got pioneers, you got people that's willing to think differently, willing to be more objective, willing to be, more transparent about why they used to think a certain way and then they switched. Anton was one of those people that he was Democrat, such as me. Some of us either go from Democrat to independent to Republican. He switched because he seen something that wasn't making sense. The addition and subtraction, the multiplication, the math was not making sense no more. And Corey's brain, he lives in liberal California. Everybody's brain in California when it comes to politics is already illiterate, ignorant. It's already atrophied. It's over. There's nothing. You got a few people out there that might change something. They might make a mark, but overall, they're in a dark place. I'm gonna be honest with you. They kept bringing in Gavin. They kept bringing in Gavin Newsom. They do it every time. Gavin's about to go run for election. That might not happen, but Corey Holcomb, I deal with these type of people every day. I deal with y'all every day on the street, every day at work. I deal with y'all. There's thousands of y'all, hundreds, and y'all sue the same talking points. When somebody's trying to give you a different perspective, you deflect and you go to that talking point. Yo, what the white man did. What the white man did.
You are. You suck the black people right now. You doing the easy.
And this is where it went left.
When you talking loud and you still talking around, what did the Caucasian male do to America to bring it down?
I'm not getting into that.
You dancing around it. And that's why I lose respect for you when you start dancing and kissing Caucasian males' ass.
But I don't.
Don't do that in front of me because I'm not an ass kisser of nobody.
Yes, you are. You suck the black people right now. You doing the easy shit. What you do, let me tell you.
And this is when it comes to men right now, masculine men, when you tell somebody, yo, you might have not invited them to your own manhood. Maybe you didn't invite them yourself to yo, you suck my. Nah, he didn't say that. He said, yo, you suck the of black people right now. And he has a point. It's disrespect. It can be considered disrespectful. Because all a person with limited intellectual ability or is already mad emotional, whether they smart or not, if you're already mad or emotional, when somebody says SM or you suck the of black people, all you hearing is you S the D. That's it. That's all you hearing. You see what I'm saying? Corey's already mad. Corey's already flustered. I haven't watched the whole episode. And from me knowing Anton and watching his content, I'm pretty sure that Anton won the debate in many levels of politics in this conversation. In many levels. Maybe one day I'll go and watch it when I got time. Maybe one day I'll go and check it out. The 2-hour podcast, but I could see why Corey was. He it seemed like he feels disrespected, but we gonna see. We gonna see what happens. We gonna see how this escalates.
What you do?
Nah, homie, let me tell you something, homie. I don't tell you. I don't suck.
Yeah, you do. You do.
So fix
you doing
that.
it right now.
I don't suck.
You doing it right.
Hey, listen, Anton. He doubling down. He doubling down. Yo, you do that right now. You do that right now. Corey wants to do something. Let's see what he does. Corey wants to do something. Let's see what he does. He ain't invite you to his own personal space, his own private parts. He said what you do to black people. Now he wants to get aggressive. Let's see what happens.
Right now, homie, believe me when I tell you, I don't do that. I don't do that.
Listen.
So don't come at me with no.
I'm gonna give you the same energy you give me.
Let's switch seats. I'm with homie. I don't do no sucking shit. I'm a mother man. I don't do no sucking shit.
I don't give a about nothing.
Well, I tell you what. Watch that sucking shit, cause that'll go bad.
Call it what you want.
I don't do no sucking,
you
homie.
say a lot of shit that I don't fuck with either. You
okay, but that gay shit.
See, that's the Uno reverse. The Uno reverse is in this situation. It's in the streets. It's more than just what's being said. It's body language. It's okay. He said this. I'ma say this. It's a lot of Uno reversals happening in real time. You might not catch it. Depending on where you from, you might not catch all the Uno reversals happening. He told Darlene to switch seats. Darlene is the lady host. He told her to switch seats. In advanced street culture, you could consider this as selling wolf tickets because this is very performative. This is very performative. This is you can look at this in many different ways. Yo, we on a show. We on a show. So I don't want to cancel the show this early or right now. So I'ma just tell Darlene to switch seats because this thing might go left. This might go left. And I'ma check him. I'ma see where his heart at. I'ma check him. Anton says, yo, I don't give a F about none of that. And he proceeded to move forward into the seat that Corey is going to get in. Let's play that again.
Sucking shit. Do that.
Tell you.
I don't do that.
Listen.
So don't come at me with no sucking shit.
I'm gonna give you the same energy you give me.
Let's switch seats. Switch seats.
I'm with it.
Homie, I don't do no sucking shit. I'm a mother man. I don't do no sucking shit.
I don't give a about nothing.
Well, I tell you what. Watch that sucking shit, because that'll go bad.
Call it what you want.
I don't do no sucking,
You
homie.
say a lot of shit that I don't fuck with either. You
Okay, but that gay shit. Oh, you
I
go.
don't give a fuck about what you talk
Hey,
about.
homie, I tell you what.
I'm right here.
Don't put no
Yo, once you say this Uno reverse, once you say, yo, I don't give a about none of that I'm right here. I don't give about none of that. You switch seats out. He calling them out on his actions that he did. This is the mental chess game that's happening with two men going up against each other with the cameras on. This happens without the cameras on too. But this is the mental chess games happening in real time that the typical person will not see. They don't see everything that's happening. It's a check. It's a check. It's a nah. You got to press that button. Nah, you got to. Nah, you. Once Corey got up and switched seats, now somebody on the outside looking in could look at that as strictly performative. Because if you was really going to do something, you would have done it out the gate. Once the person that is sitting down, 80 didn't even stand up. 80 sat down. So you got the advantage. You was able to stand up, go to the other seat, sit down. 80 still sitting down. 80 still had least of an advantage. Through that whole time, Corey was standing up, going to the seat. Was Corey right in reacting how he reacted? I don't know. But I don't think so, man. It's the conversation didn't even need to go this left. But you chose to take it there. It's either you're gonna go there or you not. Are you gonna go all the way, or you not? What you gonna do? You did not go all the way. At least from right now in this part of the video, you didn't go all the way. I don't think you should have swung or did nothing. I think you should have just kept the conversation going. But you pressed the gas, and now it's time to play chicken.
Shit. Don't put no sucking shit on me, nigga.
I'm from Detroit.
Say
right
I
now.
suck a again.
I'm right here, right now.
All right, that's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna respect you.
Dance around it. Dance around it.
Listen. If you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it. Don't be like, yo, say it again. She said, yo, I'm right here, right now. He ain't gotta say it again. You should have just swung right there, but if you was gonna do that. If we're gonna take it to the ignorant streets, you was supposed to do it. You ain't do it, dog. That's it.
Don't put no sucker shit on me, nigga.
I'm from Detroit.
Say I suck a again.
I'm right here, right now.
All right, that's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna respect you.
Dance around it. Dance around it.
No.
I don't do no sucking shit.
I'm gonna respect you because it's your platform, and I flew out here to have a conversation.
We good.
But
We
you're
good.
not up on me.
Yo,
We good. I did already. I don't do
Put
sucking
the
shit.
microphone right down, right now. I'm going up back. I don't give a.
Yep, this is another Uno reverse. Now, you might have looked Anton away after he said, yo, I'ma respect you because it's your platform. You might have looked at him away, right? You might have been like, that's kind of soft. You might have looked at him away, but he did it was a Uno reverse. It was, yo, I'ma give you this, but now we're gonna play the wild card. We're gonna play the wild card. Yo, forget all this podcasting ish. We could go to the back right now. You invited him outside. That's the ultimate ticket. That ticket is the ultimate ticket. It's up to you. You want to play this hand and get the Uno and Uno out? Or you want to stay in the game and lose at the end?
No, sir.
Homie, you just good.
Up on me.
Yo,
We good. I did already. I don't.
He said, yo, you not bossing up on me. He still sat there. He ain't get up. Yo, I'm gonna give you home court advantage, positional advantage. You stood up, got in front of me. I still said, yo, I don't give a about none of that. You tried the Uno reverse by saying, yo, say that shit you said again. You ain't even gotta say that no more. That's two perspectives. You ain't gotta say it no more, or you do say it. But yo, if you was really gonna swing, I don't even gotta say it no more. Yo, what's up? What you gonna do? You could pick that how you want to pick it. I think Anton stood his ground. You went to home court advantage in somebody else's court. You went to somebody else's court. They tried to show out. Said they was gonna do something. Ain't do nothing.
Put the microphone right down, right now. I'm going up back. I don't give a fuck about this shit.
Homie, you just running your mouth.
I'm not.
Hold on, we just getting loud. I ain't gonna get loud.
Then don't switch seats.
No, this my show. This
cool.
my show.
That's cool, but I take that shit as a threat.
Okay, well, it is a threat if you calling me sucking. I don't dick suck, my nigga.
Man, fuck what you talking about.
I don't dick suck.
If you want to get back to the conversation, because you ain't gonna do shit. Because you're not gonna do shit.
Come at me with that sucking shit.
You're not gonna
come at me with. Say I suck again.
We can go back right now. We can go back right now. I'm with it.
Listen.
I bet you won't say that shit.
This is another Uno reverse. And let me explain why this is another Uno reverse. He told you, yo, you not gonna do nothing. That's an Uno reverse. Yo, I don't give about none of this podcast. We can go all back. That's another Uno reverse. Yo, listen, man. Listen. I know a lot of y'all are Corey Holcomb fans, right? I know a lot of y'all are Corey Holcomb fans. And I was once a Corey Holcomb fan. I'm still a fan of his comedy. I'm not a fan of his show and his talking points on politics. But yo, it don't look good for him. It don't look good. You can't throw the mic and be like, yo, say that shit again. He in your face. He gets up. Anton gets up and says, yo, man, forget all this. We could go all back right now. If you not walking behind him to go out back to fight, there is really nothing else to be said. In street rules, as people say, you're not gonna win. You lost this. It's over. It's done. Now let's talk about something that is relevant as well. There is rumors of an insurrection act being implemented in Minnesota. There's rumors of an insurrection act. What people have to understand with this situation is it's very hard not to look at this objectively when you have an objective brain, when you think for yourself, when you're not listening to other people's talking points, when you're using your own brain, your own logic, your own common sense. And you're like, yo, why do these people keep impeding on the law? The reason why in the past, the reason why in the past that Barack Obama was able to just push out so many illegals without no resistance was precisely because he had no resistance. The media wasn't against him. The media was 100% behind him. Everything he did, the gay agenda, the 20,000 plus drone strikes in the Middle East. The media was 100% with him, so the narrative was for him. So he wasn't seeing people uprising and saying, yo, this is wrong. There was no resistance, zero resistance. Now in 2026, in Minnesota, you got the mayors, the governors, they all conspiring against the president because that is the game plan. The game plan is to conspire against the person that they're supposed to hate and the person that they have brainwashed you to hate as well. They are conspiring. But let's watch this. Let's get into it. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about it. You know what I mean?
We're back with the Fox News Alert.
If you don't know, that is called flashbang. Hold on. I didn't even have my video up. My bad. Let me go back. I didn't even have my video up. That's what you call flashbang. If you ain't play Call of Duty, you ain't play Splinter Cell, if you ain't played a shooting game, that's what that is. That's real life flashbangs.
We're back with the Fox News Alert. If you're just getting up, anti-ICE protesters raging in Minneapolis last night after another ICE-involved shooting where an illegal migrant from Venezuela was hit in the leg by a bullet. DHS says an agent was being attacked with a shovel and opened fire in self-defense. Moments ago, President Trump.
He only made it with a shot in his leg. Wow. That's wild. He made it. He was attacked. He shovel. He was coming at the cop with a shovel. I ain't seen the video. I don't know. This is what they're saying. He came at the cop, at the ICE agent with a shovel. He swung at him. He left with a shot in his leg. So I assume that this illegal migrant isn't a white person, as y'all might think, right? Because everybody has the same talking point. Oh, why aren't they the same Neanderthal talking point? Oh my God, why aren't they picking up people that's white? Why aren't they picking up people that's white? The same dumb 50 IQ argument. We're going to get into that one of these days. And I'm going to put a stop to that talk. But yo, the white lady was in a 2,000-pound car. She got shot. Right? White lady. This illegal migrant, which is probably not, most likely not a white person. Because y'all don't think they not picking up white people. He made it out with a shot in his leg. That's interesting.
Posting, quote, on Truth Social, if the corrupt politicians of Minnesota do not obey the law and stop the professional agitators and insurrectionists from attacking the patriots of ICE, who are only trying to do their job, I will institute the Insurrection Act which many presidents have done before me, and quickly put an end to the travesty that is taking place in that once great state.
Okay. This is more education now. What is the Insurrection Act? Let's go through it. I already had it up in my chat GPT because I'm prepared. Because a lot of people just like to talk and like to just speak out their ass. So let's look up what's an Insurrection Act. And here we got right here. What the Insurrection Act is. The Insurrection Act is a federal law passed in the early 19th century that gives the President of the United States the authority to use the U.S. military, including federalizing the National Guard inside the country in certain emergency situations. It is one of the only legal exceptions to the long-standing rule, the Posse Comitatus Act, that ordinarily forbids U.S. military forces from doing civilian law enforcement work on American soil. So this is the counteract to the already law. If you do the Insurrection Act, the Posse Comitatus Act is null and void. Why the law exists. Under the U.S. Constitution, Congress can provide for calling out the militia. The militia is what pops up when the Insurrection Act is implemented. The militia is U.S. military, National Guard, ICE is everybody with guns, flashbangs, everything to stop what's going on. Let's get back to this. Why this law exists. Under the U.S. Constitution, Congress can provide for calling out the militia to execute federal laws, suppress insurrections. What's going on in Minnesota is not a protest. It's much further. It's much more significant than just any old protest. And repel invasions. The Insurrection Act is Congress's statutory implementation of that constitutional authority. When can the president invoke it? This is very important. At the request of a state, this is the first choice. At the request of a state, if a governor or state legislator asks for federal help to stop an insurrection that the state cannot handle. B, when enforcing federal law becomes impracticable. If there is an insurrection, you might call Minnesota an insurrection. A rebellion, you might call it a rebellion, or widespread obstruction of federal law that makes normal enforcement ineffective is going to be B. When enforcing federal law becomes impractical, if there is an insurrection, rebellion, or widespread obstruction of federal law that makes normal enforcement ineffective. You got U.S. civilians or maybe other foreigners impending in federal investigation, impending in federal operations. That is breaking law. That is breaking law. He just only has to go to B. And he could actually, he been taking a long time. To be honest, the day after Shorty would have got shot, I would have implemented Insurrection Act a day, maybe two, maximum after that. And the final act to where the president can invoke the Insurrection Act, the final reason, the final prerequisite is to protect constitutional rights. If serious domestic unrest or conspiracy deprives people of their rights, then the state is failing or refusing to act. If the state is failing or refusing to act, that is exactly what's happening right now when Trump says, if the corrupt politicians of Minnesota don't obey the law and stop the professional agitators, they're supposed to be the first line of defense. And they're not doing it. So the final prerequisite to protect constitutional rights, that's also another reason why he could place this Insurrection Act on Minnesota. It's simple. What happens when the Insurrection Act happens? Federal troops and or National Guard units under federal command can be deployed in civilian areas, malls, streets, neighborhoods, all that. Those forces could assist in enforcing federal laws, including actions normally done by police. It temporarily overrides the usual restriction on military involvement in civilian law enforcement. This is a serious and rare step. This is why it hasn't happened in so long. The last time it happened was the 1992 Los Angeles riots. So I got a question for Trump. Right? I got a question for you. If you ever see this little bitty podcast, that's one day gonna be pretty damn big. I need you to see this, right? I'm gonna ask you this. You might see this in retrospect, in hindsight. Why? You got a choice to immortalize the situation, right? Because since the last time this got hit, I think was probably George Floyd or something like that, or before that. Why immortalize this? Will you immortalize this whole situation and set forth the Insurrection Act? It might need to happen. And I'm going to tell you what. There are grown adults acting like children. They don't see objective reality no more. They get pissed off. They wear clear glasses that look, they don't have no style with the glasses. They all wear the same glasses. They have different colored hair. Many of them are actually paid as well. Many of them are paid. They're paid actors. If you ain't know that, they're paid actors. And you have to take a step, right? What's going to happen after you do the Insurrection Act? Will this thing stop? Or will it keep going after the fact? Because there's still people going to be paid thousands of dollars per week to create the posters, to create the signs, to stand out in the street, to yell in ICE people's face, law enforcement's face, to drive cars and block traffic. There's still people with money out here to spend. So you got to cut the head off the snake. And what's cutting the head off the snake? You have to go after the people paying for these protests. It's plain and simple.
To do their job, I will institute the insurrection. It's often disobedience and occurrence, and that's the definition of it. What I'm looking at right there.
Yeah, it's one of the few exceptions to the posse comitatus where you cannot deploy military forces for domestic use. And it's often done when state authorities either cannot or will not. So think back to the 1960s. Southern states said, we refuse to integrate our schools. Presidents used the Insurrection Act to say, you know what, you are going to follow the law. I actually think we may be beyond this point in Minnesota. You actually have governors and mayors who are openly defying federal law enforcement. I mean, they're not like ambiguous or agnostic about it. No. They're openly defying it. So I think he's got all the justification. I'm sure he's wanting Minnesota to get in the right hymnal themselves, but they're going the opposite direction, Steve.
They sure are. You just mentioned the governor. You just mentioned the mayor. Here they are talking about the president.
Donald Trump wants this chaos. He wants confusion. And yes, he wants
You're
more
Froster,
violence
shut
on our
up.
streets. We cannot give him what he wants.
Let's be very clear. I've seen conduct from ICE that is disgusting and is intolerable. If it were your city, it would be unacceptable there too. And for anyone,
Yo, it's amazing, right? That you got you that lives in Minnesota, you that lives in Chicago, you that lives in New York. You care about people that don't even have U.S. citizen status more than people that do. You care about folks that don't give a shit about you. They take your tax dollars, they benefit off it. They actually benefit off your tax dollars more than you do. It's amazing how many idiots we have breathing, eating, going to the grocery store, voting that we have in this country. It's amazing. But it's a free country, right? That's what they say. Famously, they call it a free country. Famously. A lot of things might need to stop being free. But that's a whole nother subject.
Debate tonight. Stop.
Well, one of the things, Trey, the thing that provoked this shooting last night was the fact that this migrant who was being arrested, they got into a scuffle. Next thing you know, he's beating an ICE agent with a snow shovel, and 3 other guys jump on him. You can't hit a cop with a shovel.
It doesn't matter what country you're from. You can't hit a cop with a shovel. It doesn't matter if you're an 8th generation American. Right. You cannot use what could be a deadly weapon. Yeah. So that's really not an immigration issue to me. It's a law enforcement public safety. Here's what I would also tell the mayor and the governor. The E in ICE stands for enforcement. They're not enforcing laws that they passed. Not a single ICE agent, to my knowledge, has been in Congress. Tim Walz was in Congress. And when the Democrats had the House, the Senate, and the White House, what did they do about ICE jurisdiction? What did they change about our immigration laws? Nothing. Not a single solitary thing. ICE agents are enforcing laws that Tim Walz either voted for or sat on his behind and didn't do anything about, or they're enforcing orders that some other judge issued. Right. That's what the E stands for, enforcement.
This is interesting. You know why Obama was able to deport as many foreigners, whoever, why he was able to just take a lot of these illegal immigrants out of the country? You know why? This is the main reason. Because the narrative was for him, it wasn't against him. The media was for him, it wasn't against him. He was the poster child for this next era in gay marriage, LGBTQ. 20,000 drone strikes in the Middle East. Propaganda being used in media, which he was one of them people that there is an act, a propaganda act, that he passed to backdoor President Trump when he got in. You can look up this propaganda act. Barack Obama, the propaganda act, is not called the propaganda act, but it's an act that enables propaganda to be used in the media for certain narratives. Barack Obama was the golden child for the Democrat Party and the media, the leftist media that runs everything right now. He was the golden child. So there was nobody looking for ICE. There was nobody protesting. There was nobody trying to actively stop a federal investigation. It was, this is Obama, okay. And everybody did what they were supposed to do. Everybody walked out with no fuss. There was no fuss. There was no unrest. There was no, there was no, an Insurrection Act might happen. There was none of that. Okay? We got this black guy that shake hands like us. He's from Chicago. He's not from Chicago. He's from Chicago. He speaks, cool, or he has the gift of gab, and everybody likes him. He was able to do everything he wanted to do because there was no resistance, zero. But that's all I wanted to talk about. What you think about the Insurrection Act? What you think about Corey Holcomb versus Anton Daniels? Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the channel. We're here for another episode of Think Pieces and Conversation. Tune in next week for another episode. I'm out of here, man.